Hello civil engineers, welcome to my YouTube channel on Civil Brains. In this lecture we will see how a plinth beam concreting is to be done, and also we'll try to understand how we need to take out the uh, quantity, that is a concrete quantity for a plinth beam, right? So we'll start with this. See, this is one of a local construction which is happening, and you can see they have put up the plinth beam shuttering, right? So usually what they do, they cast the column up to the bottom of the plinth beam, because see, once you place the concrete, this becomes my top beam. Yeah, see, once you place the concrete, the concrete will be up to this level, so this will be my top of a plinth beam. Let me write it here. So this will become my top of plinth beam, isn't it? I'll write it at PB, top of plinth beam, right? So this becomes my top of plinth beam. So whenever you have to look here, so whenever we do the casting of the column, no, we have to do up to the bottom of the plinth beam, and once the bottom of the plinth beam, your column casting is done, next what we do, usually here in the local construction, they put up this laterite stone. You can see the stones here. So these are the laterite stones. So they will construct, they are going to put up the laterite stone up to the top of this RCC column, or you can say up to the bottom. And once that is done, what they do, they put up this shuttering. So you can see the shuttering here, no? So all these are the wooden shuttering what they have put up for the plinth beam, right? And how do you put up all these things? For that, when you become an engineer, when you're working as a when you're working as a site engineer, you have to refer the details, like you can see it here. You can see it here, no? So we are putting up a plinth beam, isn't it? So you have to read here plinth beam layout. So this is a drawing usually what you get when you work as a site engineer. So now let us say I want to put up this beam, that is PB1. What is the size of the beam? The size of the beam is 9 inch by 15 inch. So this 9 inch will be my width. If I go back here, yeah, so this 9 inch will be my width, and the depth of this plinth beam will be 15 inches. So in this way you have to put up the shuttering boxes, and for that I'll show you this drawing. See, in this way you have to keep on doing for each and every beam. Okay, it's a very big project what I'm showing here. Okay, so in this way you have to do all these things. Okay, yeah. So once that is done, next what we are supposed to do, next you can see one more picture here, right? You can see it here. So once that is done, next you have to put up the reinforcement. You can see the reinforcement put up here. All these are my reinforcement. Now again, for the reinforcement, what you are supposed to do, again for that you are going to get a different drawing. That is a, you can see here what is written, a schedule of RCC plinth beam. That means with wherever beam, this is PB1, PB14, PB19, all these are the different beams. Like if I go back here, here you can see all the beams, right? Like PB20, PB21, PB16, PB15 and all. Now here only the sizes are mentioned. You don't know what is the reinforcement coming here. For that you have to refer this kind of drawings. And here let us say, for example, let us say I want to look PB20. I want to look at this particular beam of PB20. I want to know what kind of reinforcement I am supposed to provide here. So I'll go here, I'll search for PB20. So can you search for PB20? So I'll just scroll down quickly. Yeah, you can see it here, right? PB15, 16 and 20. That means PB16, 23, all these are same kind of beam, where the size of the beam is 9 inches and the depth is 15 inches. And then they are mentioned here what is called as bottom steel and what is called as top steel. Now if I go back to the PPT again, you can see here the top steel. You can see here you are providing a top steel, isn't it? And in the same way, if I, yeah, so this is my top steel, you can see here. And in the same, in the bottom also you can see certain reinforcement. This will be my bottom reinforcement. So all these things will be given in the structural drawing. So it's given here bottom steel and top steel. Okay, now coming to this point, we will not understand this in the same lecture, because it will become a long lecture. Forget about all these things, straight, curtail, mid span and all. Okay, and then coming to the stirrup. Stirrup means, you can see it here. So these are called as stirrup. You can see they are put up in this way, no? See, something like this, you can see. Yeah, it has gone in this way. Okay, so these are called as stirrup. Now what diameter of the stirrup you are supposed to use, and what is the spacing, right? So that is very important. What is the spacing you are supposed to keep? Like say in between these two stirrup, what is the spacing? What is the spacing in between these two? What is the spacing in between these two? All these things will be mentioned in the structural drawing again. I'll go back to that again. So you can see it's written here. You have to provide a 8 mm bar at 6 inches center to center spacing. And what do you mean by this? At support 1/3 of span and rest. All these things we'll try to understand as we go forward in the lectures, right? Anyhow, if you are so much interested to know all these things, then what you can do is, there are certain courses of mine, you can try to enroll in them. let me quickly explain you about those courses. I'll take hardly 1 minute. See, there are a lot of courses where there's a site engineer course of mine. There's a course on diploma in basics of building construction. There's a course completely on quantity estimation, costing and bargaining schedule. There's a course on concrete technology. There's a course on drawing reading. Whatever I'm explaining you, know. So the same thing I explain in my entire course, which is having more than 28 hours of the content. So if you want to learn all those things, you can try to buy these courses. So the cost of the course is actually 360. It keeps on varying. Sometimes you may get it for 300, but the minimum price what you're supposed to pay is 360 rupees for the single course. Okay, and if you want, there's one more course for 199 rupees. So all these are the contents what you get in that 199 course. You can either download my app. I'll be putting in the comment box. You can download the Civil Brains app, or also my same courses are available on Udemy platform, and these are the reviews what students have given, right? You can just I'll just scroll down here, just have a look at all this. So all this other site engineer content, right from the excavation up to the slab casting, each and everything you're going to learn. So all these are the comments which have been put up by the students. Okay, just go through all these comments, and this is the quantity estimation course here. So here you're going to learn how to find the cement quantity, concrete quantity, each and everything. This is a drawing reading course which is almost 28 hours of the content, having 90 videos. We have taken a lot of G+3 drawing, G+2, and a hostel building, a ETABS model of a residential project, a 35,000 square meter industrial building plan, architecture and structural planning of a house of 3,400 square feet, a G+1 2,300 square foot area of a house. So in this way there are a lot of courses, and this is a reviews what I have on Udemy platform. Okay, almost 15,000 students have enrolled in the courses, and almost 163 country students have taken the courses, and also students from different engineering colleges have taken the courses. Okay, and all these are the reviews, and also many have got job also. You can see it here. Recently I had an interview, and most of the questions were from this course. This course helped me for securing my job as a site engineer, right? Okay, there are a lot of things. You can see all these things here. You will be getting a certificate also, but I don't recommend you to buy any of my course for the sake of certificate. Just for the knowledge point of view, you have to enroll and you have to gain all this knowledge, right? Yeah, and if you are interested in getting the combo courses, like you're interested to learn site engineer and quantity estimation, you'll get it for 575. If you want to take an internship on construction execution sequence, where you are going to learn site engineer course, you're going to learn quantity estimation, where you're going to learn structural drawing. So this itself is more than 300 videos, having 75 hours of the content. And if you want to take all the 7 courses of mine, it will cost you only 2,000 rupees, where you're going to learn site engineer, quantity estimation, drawing reading, ETABS, concrete technology, basic project planning, diploma in practical aspects of construction, and these are the certificates that you get, right? Anyway, we'll go back to our main fund of this video. So I'll be playing this video. Just see how this shuttering is done. See, all this are the shuttering what they have done, right? Again, it's a local construction. You'll not be following the quality stuff and all, because these people don't believe in providing the cover blocks, right? Because the usual practice is that we need to provide the cover block. Now what is cover block? All those things has been explained in my course. So in my course, what I've done is I've explained you with a lot of PPTs and all, how these things are put up and all. Okay, and what is the importance of cover block, and what is IS 456 code, what according to IS 456, and all the videos have been shown here. Okay, how this centering has to be done, each and everything, right? What is the concept of primary beam, secondary beam, how a beam reinforcement is to be placed and all. Anyway, we'll go back again. Yeah, so you can see, but in the local construction it's okay, you can do something like this and people are okay with this. But when we are a site engineer, we need to make sure that everything is happening according to the quality. So this is one around 1000 square feet area what we have. Okay, they're putting up one small commercial building here. We'll be trying to upload a lot of videos related to this. Yeah, anyway, I'll try to forward this a bit. Yeah, okay, so all this all the shuttering is done here. So as a site engineer, it will be your duty to look into the measurement, whether the breadth what they have given is exactly correct or not, whatever depth they have given is correctly or not according to the drawing. Let us say you are a site engineer of this particular area, then what are the role that you are supposed to follow? Need to check the reinforcement, need to check the shuttering, need to check whether the shuttering alignment is correct or not. Anyhow, we'll go forward now. So once that is done, we are going to do the concreting here. So it's a nominal mix. What we are used is M20 grade of concrete, and this is how they're preparing a concrete. It's a nominal mix, right? Because you can see a concrete mixer here. All these are the volumetric batching, right? Based on the volume they are going to prepare the concrete here, and this is how they are going to place the concrete, right? Again, it's not a exact right way of placing a concrete, because you need to have a, a needle vibrator. But anyhow, as I mentioned, in the local construction, all these are okay and fine. Again, when you place the concrete, make sure, we have learned this in concrete technology, make sure that the fall of a concrete from here to here is not more than how much? It has to be not more than 1.5 meter, right? What will happen if it is greater than 1.5 meter? We have learned a concept called as segregation, right, where the separation of the particles is going to happen. So again, as a site engineer, you need to look whether these laborers are going to pour the concrete. They should not pour the concrete greater than 1.5 meter, okay? Otherwise what will happen, your aggregate will come to one side, your cement paste will be on the other side. And also, especially near this column reinforcement area, you need to do a lot of compaction. I mean, you have to do a good tamping, because we'll be having a lot of reinforcement there, right? That is the reason you need to do a lot of, you have to play a needle vibrator there. I can see here, this is also not a good practice. What they are doing, you have a soil here, and directly they have put up a reinforcement, and over that they are going to do the concreting work. Again, it is not a good practice, right? Because the best practice is that they should have put a small PCC here, and over the PCC they should have put a cover block and then kept the reinforcement. But in order to save the money, and in order to get the construction done at the faster rate, these are the things that we follow. See, you can see a lot of soil here, and over that the concrete is being placed, isn't it? But since it's a small structure and people are not too much worried about all these things, and it's okay for them. Yeah, let me try to run this video again. So this is the entire plinth beam layout, what you can see. And what is this activity? This is called as finishing activity, where they are going to do the finishing of it. Okay, yeah. And finally, this is how it looks once you are done with the concreting. So this is how your plinth beam is going to look, right? So why all these things are put up? These things are put up so that the shuttering will not run. I mean, it will not bulge from here, because if you don't put this, since your concrete is having a lot of density, this shuttering may get displaced, right? So that is why what the usual practice is that they put up this small runner, 1 2 3 here you can see, so that there won't be any bulging in your beams. Again, when you go for a very high rise construction, we use different methods. Like we make use of, I mean, we can make use of acro spans. We are going to make use of shikanja and all, so that there won't be any bulging of a beam. Since it's a small here, it's okay here. So finally, this is how it's going to happen. And soon after that, next day we have to do the deshuttering of this, again followed by the curing process. Yeah, I'll try to run this. So again, look at the height of that fall. Yeah. And finally, you are into the last plinth beam. Almost here, all the plinth beam have been completed. Now we are almost in the last stage of the concreting work. So in this way, we need to understand the sequence of the construction, and that's how it is to be done. Okay. Yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed the lecture up to here. So if you're interested in any of the courses to enroll, you can enroll in the courses. So all these are the courses, and if you have any doubts, you can WhatsApp on this number. And I wish you a happy learning. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.